Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another Supatease video. And I get this question a lot. What is the best class or spec to play for any given patch in PvP? And with today's tier list, I've broken it down into considering two categories, which is how strong is the class to play and how difficult is it to play? Because I think those are two very important components when you're making your selection for your class. If you want a big challenge and something that's going to be requiring a lot of mastery, then you're going to want to pick something that is on the hard and weak tier, which means that it's tuned in a position where it's very difficult to win based on power, and it's also very complicated, has a lot of keybinds, and a lot of mastery is going to be involved. On the opposite end of the scope, though, we have easy and strong, which means that the class is very easy to pick up out of the box, and it's going to be able to get you a lot of results because it's really strong. So this is a tier list I think that should be all-encompassing to help you make your decision as far as what's appropriate for you and what you want to get out of the game. So let's get started. We've got Affliction Warlock. Now, Affliction Warlock, I would say, is definitely hard to play, but I would not say that it is necessarily strong at the moment. So for me, I'm going to be placing Affliction in hard and weak, which means that it's going to take quite a bit of mastery to get it going, and your initial success with it is probably going to be much lower. You'll have a more difficult time at lower ratings, so it's going to be a bit harder for you. Arcane Mage is a very difficult spec to play, but it's very strong. So if you're willing to overcome its initial burden of learning how to play, I think you'll realize quite quickly that you can get a lot of results with it. Arms Warrior, this is an example of easy and strong. It's very straightforward. Zug, attack, stun, pop cooldowns, and it's really powerful with the current tuning. Now, Assassination Rogue, this is one that I would say is hard and strong. It's a very strong specialization once you've mastered it. You understand its vanished windows in order to get maximum growth damage out and AoE damage out. I think that it can be a powerhouse, but it's going to feel a bit more difficult than an Arms Warrior. And this is coming from my personal experience as well, having played all the specializations at least at some point, almost all of them entirely in last season, that it's going to be coming in on the hard and strong. Boomkin, you guys are probably going to think that I'm going to be biased with this, but I think that it is strong. So it's going to be going under one of the strong categories. Is Boomkin easy or is it hard? For me, I think it's a medium difficulty. I think that you can kind of get away with just Incarn Trance and Star Surging people down at low rating, having never played it before, and get pretty far with that. But as you advance, that's when you're tracking your Cyclone DRs, and you need to know how to kite more effectively. That becomes more difficult. So I do think it has some ease at the beginning, but as you advance, it can get more complicated. So Beast Mastery Hunter, example of easy and strong. Very straightforward, all instant cast, can get away with basically not CCing, and can get a lot of damage out. We're going to do the tank specs because they're almost all going to be in these categories. But, in PvP situations, if you're doing Battlegrounds or something like that, Blood DK is really easy, and it's actually very strong. I think almost all of the tanks. I would say that this is probably medium strength, maybe. I put medium and strong. Oh, medium difficulty and strong. I should have put like medium strength on this. I'm probably gonna slap all the tanks though up at the top because I think they're all easy and they're actually all pretty strong at the moment. Demonology is very strong at the moment, but I do think it's hard to play. Kiting on Warlock can be very difficult. You can get run down, feel like you can't really get a lot going. So I do think it could be more difficult in that sense. Warlock, just as a class, requires a little bit more mastery, a little bit more specialization, but it is really strong. Once you've mastered it, you're going to get a lot of results. Destruction Warlock, I think that it's weaker than Demonology. I think I'm going to have to add an extra tier here because I don't think this is going to work out for me with the way that I've got this going. So let's add an extra tier here for medium strength is what I believe that I need. So we've got medium strength. This is really important, right? Or is that covering? I'm so discombobulated about medium and strong, which means medium difficulty, but I need medium strength. So medium is what I think that I need here. We need medium. Forgive me if I'm mistaken on my mediums here, but medium, I'm pretty sure is what we need. And we need to be bumping this down because it's going to be in between everything, right? So medium is kind of that middle ground. So it's like medium strength, medium skill dependency. Oh, this is good. This is gonna be nice. Okay, this works everything out now. We've got the master doc here for the tier list as far as organizing strength. It's medium difficulty and medium strength. Very important category here. Devastation Evoker, easy and strong. Although it's hard to say because I think there's a bug or something going on with the set bonus doing a lot of damage. Maybe when that bug gets corrected, it's not as strong. But generally speaking, Dev has been a pretty good pick for easy and strong. Discipline Priest, I think, is at least medium difficulty. And I don't know if I want to say it's strong or medium. So I think to be safe, we'll put it on medium. Ellie Shaman has a lot of keybinds, but it's surprisingly easy. I do think like at most its difficulty could be medium strong, mostly just because of its low cooldown interrupts, kiting, and how much utility you can really do to support your team. These specs don't really have a huge of like constantly on demand utility that you got to monitor, right? If you're like a done dad and you just want like simple one button gameplay, these guys are going to play a lot better than these guys. You got a little bit more awareness towards your team. So I think it's a fair spot for Elemental. Enhance with Shaman, I have a mixed bag with this one. My initial experience was this is awful. I never want to play this spec again. But then I've played against Big Dam and he was doing massive pressure. I was like, this maybe it's kind of viable. I tried his build out. I think if I got some gear, it could possibly make it work with Stormbringer. But it is incredibly hard to play. Incredibly hard to play. I want to put it here, just to be fair. I think it's very hard to play. And I do think it's on the weaker side. I'm going to try to not be as biased as possible, but I think it's hard to play and it's weak. Feral Druid, this is hard to play and strong for sure. Feral Druid is really hard, complex, but it's also strong. So if you master it, you're going to be feeling really good in that sense. Maybe we should slap Assassin. I feel like Feral's harder than Assassin, but it's pretty close. Fire Mage, honestly, I think is pretty easy, and it's honestly doing, medium level difficulty. I'm going to need another tier here to be able to get this one to fit in here, I think, with what I've got going on. Fire Mage is definitely not as weak as it was last patch. So at least medium, I'd say. Medium difficulty, medium output for Fire Mage. You do have crowd control DRs to monitor, decent amount of keybinds, some team utility that you'll need to be aware of, which is medium level difficulty. But your rotation is almost entirely instant, so you can kind of just like spam through. You have to deal with a lot of stress that maybe some casters in the hard and strong tier would necessarily have to deal with. Frost Mage is very hard for me to rank because I don't think that it's as strong. I think it's falling off. And I think it's probably like a medium difficulty. Medium weak, is that a fair assessment for it? Is it really that bad? I don't know. I'm going to leave it on medium because I don't think it's that weak. But medium difficulty, medium... let's just organize this a little better so the casters are with the casters. Medium difficulty, medium level of power, basically, coming with this. Frost Decay is actually easy and strong. I think that's very simple spec. Only a couple of buttons and almost no keybinds. Has a lot of damage right now. Packs a huge punch. Fury Warrior, same deal. Easy and strong. Guardian Druid, probably medium, just because it has crowd control that you have to deal with, as opposed to Blood Decay, which is kind of just ramming damage. Havoc Demon Hunter. This one, honestly, I think Havoc Demon Hunter is actually hard to play. I know a lot of people are going to roast me for that, but having played all the specs last season, this class has changed dramatically. I actually think it might be easier or harder than Subtlety Rogue. So I do actually want to put Demon Hunter a little bit higher than that, at least to a medium level of difficulty. So medium level difficulty, and it's strong at the moment. Holy Priest, I think is pretty easy. It's very straightforward. You just heal, right? You don't have to balance a lot of other things, which is nice. A lot of immunities, which is nice. But I don't know if I want to say it's easy and strong. I need like an easy and medium is what I need. I need another category here. So let's just, we don't want to flip those guys around. I'm just flipping everything around, bro. My whole tier list is just completely botched now. Wait, what? I can't flip them like that. I have to flip them like this. What is going on, bro? Okay, we'll flip them like that. I think we got our thing back here. We need to add. No, that is not add. What is going on, bro? I'm so fried from not getting a lot of sleep last night. My brain is absolutely wonky at the moment. Okay, we got easy and strong. We need to add a row below. A row below. All right, so we need easy and medium power. So we need easy and medium power. Holy Priest right there. Medium power, pretty easy to play. Holy Paladin is a very simple and easy and strong. Just high instant healing throughput, really valuable. Lots of powerful immunities that are going to make you feel strong. This is another one, easy and strong for Marksmanship Hunter. Just absolutely plowing people over with 8 billion aim shots. Maybe it's a bit harder than BM, so we'll layer it over there as far as like left to right, easiest to most difficult. But definitely deserves to be up there. Mistweaver, I actually think is at least medium level difficulty. I think balancing fist weaving and avoiding CC can actually be very difficult, and if you don't do it, you just absolutely lose. But it is strong, so I think medium is fair assessment for Mistweaver. Outlaw Rogue is hard and weak. Very complicated spec, hard rotation, and it's very weak. Preservation Evoker it's okay. It's I don't know if I want to say it's medium difficulty and strong. Maybe I do. I feel like it's medium difficulty and strong, I think, is where I want to be going with Preservation Evoker. It's decently powerful in the current tuning. Actually, it has a hard play style, balancing echo, needing to get in and out. I actually think it's hard. Maybe this is a better spot for it, hard and strong. That could be taken out of context. Don't take that out of context, please. YouTube comment section. Prop Warrior, definitely easy and strong. Really powerful at the moment. We're going to leave Prop Paladin because I'm uncertain. Again, Prop Paladin has to monitor a lot of healing and stuff like that. So I would actually debate that it's at least in the medium category for difficulty if you did want to really go a tank spec. Resto Shaman is most certainly hard, but I think it might be hard and strong. Has a lot of keybinds, huge amount of keybinds. But I think it has potential to be really strong right now for the season. Resto Druid, I think, is like... It's hard. I honestly think it's kind of weak. I don't know if it's like that weak, but I actually think it's on the weaker side, having lost its tier set bonus. So I'm going to put it on hard and weak at the moment. Ret Paladin, easy little slap up here. Just easiest, strongest class right now. And I know there's a lot of angry Ret Paladins in my comment section right now, but definitely is up here. Shadow Priest, very hard to play, but strong. So we'll put it in hard and strong. You have to cast a lot. The rework did help you at least a bit. I really like the Shadow Crash rework to instantly apply dots. I think that it's definitely been very decent for the spec. Subtlety Rogue, I actually don't think is hard. I think that it's not hard. I think it's just that it plays uniquely to every other spec. And once you figure it out, it's not actually that hard. So for me, I think Subtlety Rogue is more like medium, where it's like a medium level of difficulty, medium level of power. I don't actually think it's completely overbearing in terms of its power level at the moment. But once you figure it out, and I've got a guide for it on my channel here, I don't think it's actually, I think it's elusively difficult. A lot of people have put shrouds on it, but it's really not that hard. Survival Hunter, I do think is hard. It's hard for me to say whether it's strong or not. I've seen some that are doing really well with it. Its main issue is that it's just Marksman is so incomparable, right? Marksman is so much easier and so much stronger, but I do think it's actually pretty strong. So I'm going to put it on the hard and the strong tier. Unholy DK, this might come as a surprise. But you guys are at least here. I think you're actually strong, and it's like a medium level of difficulty with Chains of Ice and maintaining it and gripping and disrupting. There's a little bit more maintenance there that if you're not pulling off effectively, a Ret or a Warrior is just going to run away from the game with you a lot of times. But I definitely think it's strong. Vengeance Demon Hunter is probably the hardest of all the tanks, but I think it's probably also the strongest. You have a lot of CC, so monitoring that can be difficult. Out of all the tanks, I'd probably say it's that or Guardian Druid. Maybe we should put Guardian Druid here with it. Out of all the tanks, Windwalker Monk, rotation is easy, positioning is hard. I think hard and strong is probably a fair assessment for it here. I'm gonna put it here with Survival Hunter, I think. And Augmentation Evoker, finally, this is gonna come as a surprise maybe to some, but it's actually really good, easy and strong. Really simple. Just maintain your buff, fly through for the one shot, learn the one shot, and you're just gonna be cheesing a lot. So I think that does make it easy. Maybe at worst it would be medium. I think maybe it's slightly harder than Dev, so we'll put it here. Just monitoring the team buffs and everything like that could definitely be more difficult for it. But you can see right now that basically the category that you want to like abuse the game is this top tier category. Like these guys are gonna get you a lot to where you want to go a lot faster. Is the guys towards the top, unless they're in the easy weak category, right? If they're in the weak on the bottom, it means they're going to be much harder. So there's not a lot of easy weak classes at the moment. There's a little handful of hard and weak. Again, Affliction, maybe we could put it on medium. If we really wanted to, like medium level skill, medium level difficulty. I do think that enhances hard and weak though. And Resto Druid, again, putting it on Outlaw feels bad because I don't think it's as bad as an Outlaw Rogue. But I do think it's probably the weakest healer, having lost its set bonus with my assessment here. So this would be my recommendation. If you're a done dad, pick the easy and strong tier. If you're a super sweat and you like being the underdog, pick from the hard and weak tier. and you're going to have a better experience with the game. And if you want something that's like mastery, but is also going to give you results once you've mastered it, then hard and strong is a great tier. If you want something just down the middle with decent results, then pick medium. And if you want like a medium level of difficulty, but really strong, you don't want like these guys are the Omega hards. You want a little bit of an easier ride with some power, then medium strong is a great tier. And that's going to be the best way to go about it. There's not any medium level difficulty weak classes. There's not any easy to play classes that are weak to really consider at this time. And I hope that this tier list is helpful to you. So thank you guys very much for supporting the channel. I do have an announcement as well. I will be commentating live at Gamescom for the new arena tournament. So if you guys are excited for that, let me know in the comments down below. We're finally having a LAN with Europe versus North America. It's been a long time, and we actually have the best teams going to that. So I'm hoping that they're trying their best and they're going to really put on a show so we can show everybody what WoW Esports is capable of in 2025, because I feel like we're one of the longest standing esports departments, and I still love the competition, still love the game. So I'm going to be doing my best with the commentary for that as always. But other than that, thank you guys very much for watching the video and supporting the channel over the years, and I will see you in the next one.